You're listening to the See the Unseen podcast, where our number one focus is creating a little visibility for people who deserve a whole lot of spotlight. I'm your host, Melissa Georgioff, and I'm here to share some amazing stories that can transform and inspire lives. So get ready to take those blinders off and see the unseen. Welcome to the podcast. Tonight we have Charlie Brown. He's a Nashville singer-songwriter, but he's also Bethalto's high school teacher, husband, and father. His song, What I Wouldn't Give, earned him a gold record when it was recorded by Blake Shelton. This is part 2 of my interview with Charlie. We're going to talk about how he balances a career in songwriting along with being a high school teacher. And we're going to hear what he's up to now. Charlie's been an inspiration to his students, his community, and to me. And his journey from playing in local venues to achieving nationwide recognition is amazing. Welcome to the podcast, Charlie Brown.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
thanks for having me back.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Heck yeah.
So, first off, I don't know if everyone, I know this is part 2, but I think it's important for us to kind of take it back, where did you come from? Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Wood River, the last house in Wood River. So I was actually a Roxana kid, and I'm the youngest of 5. And grew up in Roxana, small town, and went all through Roxana. And we did sports, and we did a lot of fishing, a lot of playing outside. Just typical small town fun stuff.
Cool. I love Wood River. I like when people say Wood River. That's my thing. It's not Wood River. If people aren't from around here, if they say, because Dana, my girlfriend, she was from St. Louis, the big town of St. Louis, and It's not a town, it's a city. But she would say, I'm going to Wood River.
Yeah.
And I'd say, no, it's Wood River.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's one word.
Right. One word. So I just want to throw this up here. Here's your football picture. So this is proof that you are a Roxana shell. And here's where you wrote a song about Roxana football, didn't you?
I did. I wrote a song called Tapping on the Lockers.
Okay.
Yeah. I just I was coaching football down there for a while, and I just was inspired to write a song that I would have wanted to say before running out in the field. And so I wrote it for the kids, and we did a little video with Chuck Sheets, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
That's cool. So you're a teacher still.
Still teaching.
And you're songwriting.
Yes, I teach at Sit Up Memorial. I teach the foods classes with Angie Nielsen. And it's a fun class, action-packed. And
CMHS, that's where I went to high school.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're the Eagles.
CMHS, that's right.
Yeah.
So I've got a bunch of Eagles gear now. A bunch of Eagles shirts.
See, and that's interesting because I remember when the kid's dad, he played football with you.
Yep.
And but he had to go move from the Roxana to the Bethalto gear, the purple and gold, for the last 24 years.
Yeah. Steve was a great football player.
Yeah, he was captain of his football team.
Tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until the injury.
Yeah.
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 So
football will get you.
Yeah, that's true. I think Kaylee won't let my grandbaby play football, she says. So We'll see.
Yeah.
So, okay. So let's talk about this gold record of yours because I don't know if everyone knows how cool you really are here. Okay. Let's pull this up here. I'm showing it on the screen here.
Yeah.
That's Blake Shelton. That's a gold record. Where do you have that hanging? By the way,
that is in my song shack, which is basically my garage. I've decked out our garage as a writing place for me, a little sanctuary to go write songs, and
that's nice.
It's hanging in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you don't even put it out in the middle of I would put that out in my family room, in the living room for everybody to see. That's so cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was a good moment. Tommy Carlos, you've had him on here before.
Mm-hmm.
He's a longtime friend of mine. We moved to Nashville, and we talked about taking over Nashville, but not really taking it over. We just wanted to make our mark, and we went down there and we hooked up with Charlie Steffel one day, and
I've got a picture of him too.
Yeah, Charlie Shuffle, and yep, there he
There's
is.
Charlie. He's a songwriter, correct?
Charlie, he's written a ton of country hits. He wrote "The Fool" for Leanne Womack.
Okay.
I'm the Fool in Love with the Fool.
Yeah, I love that song.
He's got George Jones cuts, and Chad Brock, and a ton of like bluegrass cuts with the Del McCurry Band. And he's just a great writer. So we all three got together one day.
There's a picture of all three of you right there.
And we just had a really good day. I threw out a title that I had in my little notebook that I've had for about a year, and Tommy came up with a melody, and Tommy and Charlie were both going through some relationship stuff. Then I really wasn't. I just kind of had the idea, and in about it was probably 3 or 4 hours it took us to whip out that song, and really not knowing that 7 years later that it would get recorded by somebody, which was Blake Shelton.
7 years later. Mm-hmm. So you write the song in, would you say 3 or 4 hours?
3 or 4 hours, yes.
Okay, and it takes 7 years to actually get someone to sing it, and then
it was a seven-year-old song, and
wow.
And actually, Lila McCann recorded that song, and it's one of my favorite versions. I don't know if you've heard that version of it.
I did.
She sang the heck out of it. Blake did too, but I think Lila's might be my favorite one, because she just nailed it. Production and everything was great on it, and yeah, it was just one of those songs that's just been really good. It's been really good to me.
I remember when I got a copy of it, it was just on a regular like CD back when you played the CDs in your car.
That's right.
And it was with a marker. You had given it to me and Steve.
That's right. And Tommy was singing it.
Yeah, Tommy sang it.
The demo.
Yeah, I loved it. I love Tommy singing it. And I played all the time in my car. And then when I heard Blake singing, I was like, it's okay.
Yeah, I thought Tommy's version was better than Blake's. So,
me too.
Just the production and everything, and plus just Tommy's voice is incredible. So
yeah, and I love the story. You have to tell the story. Well, first of all, about whenever you guys, when it came out and you bought it. But before you do that, like, I want to hear, what was that about too? I forgot. I think Tommy told us on the podcast with him, but
what I wouldn't give?
Yeah.
Oh,
like, who was that about? Or maybe I asked Tommy and he didn't really tell me, because I think it had something to do with like his love life or something. He didn't want to go there.
Well, I don't know if I am allowed to tell, but I'll tell my son.
No one's listening.
Literally
no one's listening.
I was living with Tommy. That's right. I was living with Tommy in Meadowbrook the year before I moved to Nashville, and we were standing in the front yard for whatever reason, because we're dorks. And this car went by, and Tommy said, "What I wouldn't give to have that thing." He was like, I don't know what kind of car it was. It was really cool, better than the cars we had at the time. And I just thought that was a cool title. So I went in and I wrote it down, and I wrote down what I wouldn't give to have her back. And then I wrote underneath that, what I wouldn't give is the reason why she's gone, my whole heart. And then I just left it alone. And then a year later we got together. So Tommy was going through stuff with someone, and Charlie was going through stuff with someone. So they were kind of in the middle of that emotion. And I was just kind of the guy that had the idea and like was kind of like the editor that day.
Okay, so tell me the truth. Did he say what I wouldn't give to have that gal or anything like that, or was it really a car?
It was a car.
Okay.
Yeah, and I turned it into a sad country song.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. And so if you play it back, does he get his girl back, and does his dog come back?
Yes, and you get
his job back? Oh, in the car? You get the car back?
Yes.
You get the car. It's like backmasking. Do you remember that back in like, did you ever do that in the 80s? Where you like backmask? Like you had a record and you played it backwards, and it like would say like, I killed John Lennon or something like that. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I'm sorry.
Seriously? How old are you?
Back that mask up? Was that a song?
No, it was called backmasking. I'm pretty sure.
Backmasking?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I guess.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you don't know what this is. Okay, if you're listening and you know what backmasking or like playing records backwards, I feel like Kevin Kapler would know this. But if you play it backwards, you can hear like people used to play songs backwards, and
Satan.
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe don't do that, because
my mom made me break my Kiss records in half, because she said that if you played them backwards, you could hear the devil. So I broke my Kiss records in half. And the next day I was so sad because I couldn't listen to my Kiss.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think that is true. It might have been the devil.
So
that's funny.
I didn't hear the devil though. So
that's well. Okay. Well, tell the story about, okay, so this song, okay, first of all, this song is amazing. If you haven't heard it, it's called What I Wouldn't Give, and you got to go listen to it. It's been a few years, but it's a good one.
Thank you.
Yes, I love it. And so when you went to go buy it, because you went to Walmart, came out. Okay, tell the listeners the story about that.
Well, I was very excited. Tommy and I, we got up early because that's back when albums would come out on Tuesdays. So we got up at 5:00 because I had to go teach that day, and we were in Nashville, and so we drove to Walmart together because we were going to buy this CD, and we went to one Walmart, and they didn't have the stuff out yet. They didn't have the stock out. It was in the back room, and they wouldn't go get it. So we went to another Walmart, same story. So we were driving across town. I'm almost late for work. So we finally found a Walmart with the new Blake Shelton CD. So, you get it off the shelf and you look at it. And I didn't believe it because there were so many close calls in Nashville. And I'd call home and be like, hey, I think Clay Walker's going to record my song, or I think so-and-so, or Gary Allen, or just Lone Star, all these guys. And I had so many close calls that it just didn't happen. Mm-hmm. So I really didn't believe it. And then I saw What I Wouldn't Give on the CD, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I actually opened it up and took the wrapper off so I could see my name in microscopic print, and Tommy and Charlie's. And I said, I guess it happened. So we walk up to the aisle, and mm-hmm. I'm paying for it and just smiling. And the lady was ringing me up, and I said, song number 8 on there. I wrote that one. And she just looked up and goes, debit or credit? And so
I love that story. So I'm sorry for laughing.
No, it was funny.
It is so funny.
Yeah.
Like, were you in Nashville at the Walmart?
Nashville.
Okay, Nashville Walmart.
Yeah.
Well, do you think maybe because she's just used to it, like all the country singers coming in there, maybe?
I don't know. I think she just might not have had a good day or liked her job or whatever. She just...
Yeah. I guarantee you, if you went into Wood River Walmart right now and you said, I wrote that song, they would be impressed.
Yeah. I don't know what I was trying to get from her except a wow or a good job. Or
I would have said that's
super cool. It was just a cool moment that it made it funny.
So. I think it is kind of funny, but you should have said, hey, I have a gold record.
Well, I didn't at the time.
You want to see my, oh, that's right. So okay.
That was to come. But Tommy and I got to play the song like 3 times on my way to work, and it was cool. Yeah,
that was really cool.
It was amazing.
Yeah. So how did you get into songwriting? I have a picture here, and I think this is...
Oh gosh. Oh yeah, that's the house we lived in. That's where I came up with What I Wouldn't Give out in the front yard. That is the last place I lived before I moved, and Tommy got another apartment, waited a year, and then moved down a year later to Nashville. But I got into songwriting just because I love music so much, but I knew that when I was from a very early age, not only did I seek out good music, whether it be pop or rock or whatever, anywhere from Dan Fogelberg to Johnny Cash and all that stuff, that I wanted to not only enjoy it because it resonated with me, but I wanted to be able to make it. I wanted to make music. I wanted to make other people feel that way, if I can get my words out. And but then I got a guitar when I was 10 or 11, and then it kind of collected dust in the corner and probably ended up using it as a wiffle ball bat or whatever, because I didn't know how to tune it, and nobody in my family really knew how to do that stuff. Mm-hmm. So I waited until I was 20 to get a guitar, and then I had friends show me chords and things like that. Dax Peterman, he passed away, but he was an incredible guitar player. He showed me how to play. John Matheny, he showed me a lot of chords. I used to call him on the phone, and he would tune my guitar over the phone. I'd play a string, and he'd be like, turn that up, and he'd help me tune it. And then Perry Yates is a local Perry guy. Yates. He's a great guitar great guitar player, singer, and I used to follow him and his band around and kind of just wish I was doing that. And then
Perry Yates, that graduated with me?
Yes.
1989?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
And he took me to Hopper's Music in Alton when I bought my very first guitar. And he said, awesome. I said, what do you think about this one? And he played it a little bit, and he said, this is a good one, kind of expensive. And so I went.
How much was your first guitar?
It was $225. So
started on a $225 guitar.
Yep.
Now they're pretty expensive. I think I shared on the last podcast that I bought a hummingbird for an old boyfriend once. Just bad.
Hummingbirds are cool.
Yeah, I mean, it was a cool guitar. It started out like being in Nashville at that big Music City room or whatever. It's a big. What do they have it in Fairview Heights? It's a music room, big music store.
Guitar Center.
I think it was that, but it's in Nashville and they're like huge.
Okay, there's a ton down there.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And I was like, oh yeah, pick out a guitar. Like I'm thinking, and I mean, I was doing well then. I was like, yeah, pick yourself out a guitar, you
Nice.
know. And then he goes and he picks out a $1,500 guitar, and then the guy at the counter goes, well, if my girlfriend was paying for me a guitar, I'd pick out this Hummingbird. So then he gets out a $6,000 guitar, and so all of a sudden I'm paying for a $6,000 guitar. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, that was. Not only was the guitar a bad decision, the boyfriend was a bad decision too. Anyway,
It happens.
Okay, I got off track there. But anyway, you started on this $225 guitar, and the rest is kind of history. Were you always a good writer?
No, I was horrible. I was trying to write songs and I didn't know exactly what I was doing. I just wrote a bunch of poems and sang, and I didn't know what I was doing. So I went and found some books on how to write songs, and before Google. So then I would find books on how to sing, and then I took singing lessons, then I took writing lessons, and I didn't know anything. I had a lot of raw, like I want to, and a lot of grit, but I just didn't know what I was doing. So I had to read a lot and study a lot. And then I started going to Nashville, and I met a guy named Jason Bloom, who's written a ton of songs. And I won't list them all. I'm not trying to name drop, but he's been a mentor of mine for decades now. And he's got books and CDs and how-tos. He's got a website. He does critiques online. If you want to send your song in, he'll critique it, for a fee.
Really?
And
you can get critiqued for a fee. You have to pay them to critique you.
Yep, tell you what's wrong with your song and how you can make it better. Yeah, and it's a lot of money spent on that, but it just teaches you tips and tricks, and it's a process and a journey. And you write a bunch of songs. I've written hundreds of songs that I'll never play for anyone because they're just boring. And then every once in a while, you write one that kind of pops up, and you're like, oh, hey, that's got something to it. So then you play those for people.
Yeah, but how do you know it's going to be boring? Because, like, if you think about it, there's so many people that write these songs that are like, they're not even that clever or creative, and then that might go, make millions.
I think if you just play them for enough people, especially, I think getting professional feedback is crucial. If you play it for your parents and they're going to love everything you do, it's not really true feedback. Most of the time. I think if you, I think getting plugged into Nashville, even from afar, virtually, if you can get there's a place called Songtown, you can join that place. It's almost like a Facebook of songwriters. You can get critiques, and once the big guys, the professionals can give you some tips and tricks. You kind of find out where you're at, and it's a little intimidating and a little scary, but it's also liberating because you can get better. The idea is just to always be better. I always want to be a better writer. The gold record is great. I'm very proud of it, and I feel like I'm getting better, but that's been a while. So I'm always hoping that I'm a better writer than what I was then, and always seeking feedback. And I've got some people in Nashville that are in my corner that will be honest with me, and just, and sometimes you just write a good song and they're like, that's a good song. I just don't think anybody's going to record it. So you can have a perfectly crafted song that, that's makes sense and has a good melody and good lyric, but you have to write something that's a little bit extra special before some artist is going to bump their own song that they wrote off of their project to record your song.
Right.
So that's why it's so hard to do that, to get to write songs for other people. However, that's why I do my own projects too, because I have a lot of songs that I love that I haven't had luck with, with Blake recording that one, because I got a little bit of an open door there with him and other people in Nashville. But if they don't want to record them and they mean a lot to me, I'm going to go ahead and record them, and I'll be the artist. So that's kind of how that works.
Yeah. So can you call Blake up? Will he take your phone call?
I can't call Blake, but he might know me if he saw me. He might remember me.
It is so crazy. Like, you probably made that dude like millions of dollars. Don't you think?
I don't know about millions.
Maybe at least a couple 100,000 for sure.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure, but that
How do you find out?
That song also made me some money too.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like that's what I think about the songwriters. Like, to me, you all have such a creative mind and can come up with these lyrics so quickly, and that's really the brains behind the song. And then then the artist sings a song, and then all of a sudden, they're getting all the millions, which is just not fair.
Well, yeah, yes and no. I agree with what you're saying, but also some of these artists are also incredible writers. Some artists
That's true.
don't. And I do like artists that don't write, because then they record outside songs, which would be from a guy like me.
Right.
But some of these, like an Eric Church, he's an incredible songwriter. I mean, you can get it on an Eric Church record, but he's going to write a bunch of great songs of his own. They better be really good, because he's going to have to bump his own songs to record yours.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So it's in the interest of the artist to write their own songs.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then they also don't have to share in profit.
Well, they get a chunk of the pie if they are a part of the song as a writer.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I like they did this little it was like a documentary on songwriters. I don't know if you saw it, but Brett James was like at the beginning of it.
Yeah.
And he made this comment like, I've written, I don't know if he said like 200 number one songs and nobody even knows who the hell I am, or something like that.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was
been a while, but I've seen that.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good documentary, but yeah, so that's really interesting. I love that you're writing but you're also teaching in the middle of all this. So like, how do you balance all of this?
Well, I try to have a schedule. I'm not the most organized person in the world, but my wife is. So we have a deal where every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, it's a given that I go out to the garage or the song shack, and I write until 7:30 to sometimes it's 11, and sometimes it's 12. Depends on how tired I am. But I have a schedule, and so and that's during the school year. So when school's out, and I'm off, I still have a lot of other things to do and duties and a son, and trying to be a good husband and a good father. But there's a lot more time that opens up where I can write more full time during the summertime. So I just try to do that. And with the school, I get off at 2:45ish if I can get out of there on time. And so the teaching definitely lends itself to having more time. I'm not getting off work at 5 and driving home from St. Louis,
right?
Kind of thing. And the summers off helps. And it works. It's busy, but I don't know. I can't not do it. So
yeah. Do you feel like it is just a part of you? Like you're that passionate about it? Like you can't imagine not doing it?
Yeah, I get really cranky if I'm not writing songs. If I don't have a song in the works, or if I haven't made time to do it, if I miss a shack night or something like that, I'm just not myself.
Wow. See, I was thinking, oh my gosh, you're writing for 3 hours each night. Like I would think that would be exhausting, because I don't really love to write as much, but I hear that writing is actually very therapeutic too.
Yeah, it is. When I have a song that I'm excited about, I can't wait to get out there. And then when I don't have anything, I have to go out there and make sure I'm not, scrolling Facebook or goofing off too much. And then when you're starting with nothing and you're not really inspired by anything, you just have to. I'm practicing just writing anyway. Good, bad, or ugly, I'm going to write something, and then sometimes just getting the juices flowing. I've written a couple of my favorite songs by sitting there and not having anything and just saying I am writing a song tonight, and I would go down my list and go through my journals and just find a line and say that's what I'm writing, and making myself do it. I've come up with some songs that I really like that, and it's kind of just pushing yourself.
What are some of the tips and tricks of writing? Because you said that they teach you some of these tips and tricks.
Well, I've learned that a song is about one thing. When I first started writing songs, I would, say, hey, I love you so much. this is the greatest thing ever. And then the second verse, I would go, why did she leave me? And then like I would have like 3 or 4 stories going in one song, and then these publishers were looking at me like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
So and then I'm like, "What do you mean?" And then they would say that a song is about one thing. So if you can just get that idea, that one thing, each verse and every line needs to go back to that title, so it makes sense. And it's just don't go off into here and write other songs. Save those for other songs and just focus on one song. That's one thing I've learned, to keep the song about one thing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You know Will Nance, right?
Yes, I've met him one time.
Okay, he's a friend of mine, and he will see those things that say "She's Everything" behind you. It says Will Nance. He signed both of those for me.
Oh yeah,
but
he's written some amazing songs.
Yeah, he wrote for Brad Paisley, "She's Everything."
Mm-hmm.
But he was writing with this. I'm trying to think of who the guy was. I don't know the song, but the name of the song was "It's a Thing." And he told a story about how they were writing in this, what is the guy's name? I'll have to think of it. But he came in, he's like, I just want to write a song about like a thing is a thing. And he goes, are you crazy? He goes like, look at that chair. That's a thing. Look at that microphone. It's a thing. And he goes, okay, dude, like that's what you really want to write. And they wrote a song called "A Thing Is a Thing" or something.
Is it called "Everything's a Thing"?
Everything's a thing.
That's Joe Nichols.
Yeah, Joe Nichols. He wrote it with him.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah. Like, how crazy is that?
Yeah.
Like, I just love that kind of, just anything can end up being a song. And you could literally, look back at all my bad relationships and write a song, Charlie, that probably would sell for sure. Well, it could be a tearjerker. My whole love life prior to Andy has been a tearjerker.
I'll keep
probably.
that in mind. Once I get through all my past relationship songs, I'll get to yours.
You've got some good ones too. You'd either laugh or cry.
That's right.
You could make them funny, I guess.
Yeah, you learn from it and you move on.
Right. Well, here's the next picture I have of you. Okay, this was when you were first starting out.
My hair was brown. Look at that.
Are you gray now?
No, just a little bit.
Okay,
just a little bit. That was my first week in Nashville.
First week in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
I'll throw it up here again. And is that the $225 guitar or?
Yes, with a VCR behind me. And
that thing looks like what you would use back when I was in grade school. They put the VCR in and you'd watch the movie in class.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're younger than me.
Yeah, that was the,
or maybe not.
Was the guitar.
No, I think you're a year older than me.
Am I older? Probably.
You graduated in 88. Nope, I'm a year older than you. Okay.
Yeah.
And then here's a picture of you with Garth Brooks.
Mm-hmm.
Look how young you look there.
I was 20 there.
20 years old. 20. And you got to meet Garth Brooks.
I snuck into the fan club. He did like a meet and greet after. That was at the Fox Theater. And I signed up for his fan club, but my card hadn't come through the mail. So I kind of snuck into the little party so I could get that picture.
How did you sneak in?
I think I borrowed someone else's card. After they got in, they handed me their card or something like that. So sorry, Garth, but I wanted to meet you. So.
Yeah, I've done that before. I mean, I actually sang on stage in St. Louis with Rick Springfield. I don't know if you knew
sang with him?
Yeah, I sang the whole song. I Get Excited. So I had this 8-track. It's a true story. True story. I was like 22 years old, maybe something like that, and he was in St. Louis, and I got my 8-track out. And I put it up there and he grabbed me, pulled me up on stage, put the guitar over me. And of course I had my hands back here. And so I sang the whole song. I got excited and he sang it, playing the guitar over me the whole time. And then
that's awesome.
The next night I worked my way backstage I was using my Tony Robbins skills. Mm-hmm. And I was negotiating with, a couple of his band members and they let me backstage. And then all these people from the radio show were out there, and somehow he came up. I put my arm around him. I walked all the way down the hallway with him. I said, "Hey, Rick, remember me from last night?" Walked all the way down the thing, let all these people in that were waiting backstage. They had backstage passes, and then fast forward, Kaylee was 3 years old, maybe. I put her on stage with Rick Springfield, and he sang the same song with her on stage. That's my Rick Springfield. So I mean, cool. I do have I'm kind of have a crush on Rick Springfield since the 6th grade.
Yeah. A lot of people did, I think.
Yeah. but nothing like Garth Brooks. I mean, my girlfriend met Garth Brooks, but that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. I met him twice. He was really, really nice both times. Really nice.
He's as nice as he seems to be. Like on his documentary, he was very
really
sincere.
was. He didn't focus. There were thousands of people screaming his name, and he would just like this and talking to me about fishing or whatever else.
Really?
Didn't miss a beat.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was cool.
Well, here's your album cover. Let's talk about this one.
That was my very first full-length CD.
You look pretty good in a cowboy hat. Andy's always wanting to put on a cowboy hat, but I'm like, no.
That was during my I Want to Be Garth phase. So
okay, yeah. I thought it looks good. And then this one, there you are with another hat, cowboy hat.
Yeah.
I had this album. I think I have this one too somewhere, and it's probably down here in these drawers. For real.
Yeah, I've got 5 full-length albums now. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what this is. What picture is this?
That was me with Corey Wallace. Corey is a photographer. He used to be my boss. He was the principal at Roxana. And he took me out one day on a fall day, and we did a bunch of pictures. And
this one too?
He told me to do that. Yeah, he came over to that's the Song Shack right there.
Oh, it is.
And, that's where I write my songs.
That's where you get creative, huh?
No, that's where I try to come up with stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Well, tell us what you are working on now, because I know that you're working on a new album, aren't you? I last time we had a podcast, I kind of mentioned that Aaron Kellum was on my other podcast.
Yes.
And I said, how do you guys not know each other? Because you guys live in the same town, or he's from Bethalto, but he's in LA.
Yes.
So I think I texted you his phone number, or text you both each other's phone numbers and said, get together.
Yes. Yeah.
So what happened?
Well, I'm actually, I'm in the middle of starting to record a brand new album and picking the songs. And then I got a hold of Aaron after you kind of gave me his number. We got together last summer. Well, I say got together, but we did a FaceTime co-write and wrote a really beautiful song about his mother. And then a couple weeks later, we wrote another one, more of an up-tempo love song, and it just kind of clicked. We just get along real well, and creatively we get along well. I've always wanted to do an album that was a little more pop than country instead of the old style country. And I get pigeonholed a lot with country music and with the overalls and the down by the Crawdad Creek. But I love all kinds of music, and I just love what he does. Mm-hmm. So I asked him if he would produce my album, and he agreed to. So that's kind of made me change the direction of which songs I pick. So lately, I've been instead of just picking the songs I'm going to record, I've been going live on Facebook, and it's been a ton of fun. I've been getting feedback from the people on Facebook, like, should I record this song? What do you think? And it's been a lot of fun. So like every other night I've been going on and just doing a new song and learning it and then playing it for people. And it's good to get feedback, because ultimately the song, I want to record songs that I love, but I also, I want the people who are going to get my CD or my download for the younger people to like it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm in the middle of picking my songs. I'm excited about Aaron being the producer, and I don't have a title for the CD yet, or the album, or whatever they call them these days, the project. But I'm leaning towards Parking Lot Prayers.
Parking Lot Prayers.
But I'm not sure.
How come? Why Parking Lot Prayers?
Well, about 3 weeks ago, I wrote a song for my students. And I've always wanted to write a song for my students all these years. And I've always... I wrote the diss track against my students, but that was just kind of fun.
Oh, that was so funny. I love all those.
It was a lot of fun, and they joined in and did the video. But I always wanted to write a song like from the heart for them, but it always ended up a little bit cheesy, I think. I think I forced it, But anyway, so I thought, what can I write for these guys? Because this senior class this year is really special. But I kind of wanted to write it for every student that I've ever had. So I just was just thinking about my day when I drive to school. I pray for my family, and then when I get to the school, I pray for my students real quick before I go inside. So I wrote a song called Parking Lot Prayers, because I do that for my students.
That's so awesome.
So that's been the song that, like I said, I've been doing Facebook Lives and doing these new songs, and I've had a lot of really good feedback with a lot of them. But I think that's the one that people are resonating to, which is cool and strange at the same time, because I played it for a few Nashville people, and they were like, "This is a beautiful song, but nobody's going to record this song." And I said, "That's okay. I'm going to record it. It's my song anyway." They're like, "Yeah, but you want somebody else to record it. You're going to have to put it in third person and say he did this or he did this." And I said, "I totally get it, because there's probably not a lot of rich, famous country stars that are teachers." So yeah, I'm not rich or famous. So, and I said, "That's okay." I said, if the song takes off and somebody wants to record it, we can change the tense, whatever. But this song's mine, so I'm going to record it. And so it's going to be the first song that I record for my new record. So I think I could title it Parking Lot Prayers, but it's so early in the process that I don't know exactly if I'm going to.
That's awesome. I love that you pray for your students, and they're such a big part of who you are.
Oh yeah, it's great. I don't know what else I would want to do for a living.
Yeah, and then you also wrote for Aaron's mother, and Aaron's mother had ALS and passed away just last year, right? It's not been that long ago.
Pretty recent. Yes.
Yeah. And so now, did Aaron record that song? I think I heard him.
He did.
Write he put out a reel or something that had a little bit of it.
Yes.
So
did.
You both wrote that song together?
Yeah, it was the first song we wrote together.
Okay.
I was in Carlinville at a lake house, and just on a solo writing trip, and we had our first appointment, and we FaceTimed, and he said he wanted to write songs that were a little bit more deep, and he told me the big long story about his mother, and I said, "Well, let's see what we come up with." And then it was just it was easy. It was easy to write with him because we were thinking alike. He's very melodic, and my strength is lyric. Of course, he's a great lyricist too. But
what's that mean, melodic?
He's just great at writing melodies.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a great guitar player. Melodies just flow out of him, and it was just a really good day. And I was very honored to be able to write that song with him, especially about his mother, and especially since it was our first co-write. It's kind of amazing that happened.
It is. That's sweet too. Like, his mother was a really sweet lady, and went through a really terrible time. So.
I didn't know her, but I can only imagine.
Yeah, she was from Bethalto, and I knew another lady that had ALS right at the same time. So I'd reach out to Erin every now and then and see how she was doing. It
was cool.
Yeah, real sweet. So, okay, so what else are you writing now?
Well, I'm always writing new songs, and with the new album, I'm going to be resurrecting a couple songs that I've always wanted to record, but maybe the co-writer didn't want to record a demo, or I didn't have the money, or whatever reason. I've got a couple from the back catalog that I'm going to bring to life, and then I'm always writing new ones. So I don't know exactly which songs are going to be on there, but I'm starting to get a little list and narrow it down a little bit with the help of people and my friends and family on Facebook who are letting me know what they think.
Yeah, so let's talk about that, because you said, you have to have the funds, right? So it costs to write songs and to record them, correct? So can you explain a little bit about that? Because I know you're doing something called, I think, crowdfunding is what they call it.
Yeah,
it's
it's crowdfunding. It's called Kickstarter.
Okay.
And I've been actually promoting it pretty heavily on Facebook lately, and people are probably like, "Okay, here's another one." But basically, it's basically help with funding an album.
Okay.
Well, I'm trying to raise $5,500 to finish this record, and so basically, people can, you can join the crowdfunding, and you can buy an advanced CD, a signed CD, and then it goes up like into different tiers. You can get a T-shirt, and then you can get a handwritten lyric of your favorite song on the album, and it goes all the way up to like maybe songwriting lessons from me, or even a co-write with me. And then there's another tier even above that if you want to co-write a song that will be included on the album. That's on there too.
And you don't have to be a songwriter. You can just be
No, you can just learn from wherever you are. I'll just meet you where you're at, and we'll go from there.
That's awesome. So what are the tiers?
Well, the first one is CD. Second one is you get a CD and a T-shirt. I don't have it in front of me, but then there's a handwritten lyric. Like I
Like
said,
a couple $100 or so, I think.
I think the first one is $25 for
Okay.
CD. Then it goes up to $50 for the T-shirt and the CD. I don't have it in front of me, but yeah,
That's okay.
it goes on up and up as far as you want to go. So
Okay. That's awesome, because
But-
I want to do that. I couldn't tell you, like, because Andy was in another room, but now he doesn't listen to these podcasts probably half the time. He might listen to different parts of them, but anyway, I will just say that yeah, I want to do the songwriting thing with him, because he actually can. I think he can carry a tune pretty well.
yeah, good.
He can play. He's trying to teach himself a guitar, and he's always making up songs. Like everywhere we go, like I don't know. I mean, most of the time they're just silly.
I have
But
a feeling.
I feel like if he got with you, he might be able to contribute.
Yeah.
But he's very nervous about getting in front of people. He won't get in front of a microphone.
Mhm.
I don't even know if he would sing in front of anybody else.
I remember those days. Yeah,
But he would
End up
probably
doing it.
write or something, or like say it out loud.
there's nothing to be afraid of.
Okay.
Even though I was, but you just do it and you get better and you get more confident and it just builds as you get better.
Yeah. Well, I want to do that. So I thought I would surprise him for like our anniversary and have like a songwriting. And you do it like one day, or how does it work?
Yeah, it's like a few hour session.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you sign up for the one where we actually write a song, then if it goes more than a few hours, I'm not going to like leave it hanging. We finish that second verse.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's kind of like when I remember, like Will Nance said that when he wrote "She's Everything," his wife said, the songwriter said, "I want you to go back and just write one song, or just have one person write the song," because he had multiple people, and we can't afford that.
Mhm.
And he said, and then Holly, his wife, said, "Well, I want you to write a song about me." And then he's like, "That's stressful." So that's what I'll do. I'll say, "Andy, I want you to write a song about me." And then what if it goes big? Like you guys write the song and it's just a huge hit.
I would be okay with that.
That would be cool.
I would be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who
you
would-
never know.
Yeah, you
You
don't.
don't know.
You never know. It could happen.
That's the exciting part about it.
Yeah.
It's so hard to break into the business, and it's so hard to get a song recorded, but it happens.
Right. Like think about like Who Let the Dogs Out? Who wrote that? And who? wrote that?
Yeah, it's catchy.
Right. And they made millions.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
That's right.
Okay. Well, I know you're going to sing a song for us, right?
Sure. Yeah, I've got my guitar right here. Is that okay?
Yeah. Do you mind?
Yeah, I don't mind at all.
Okay. I'd like to just, surprise you with like, hey, can you?
Well, I've got my guitar here and it's all tuned up. I wasn't ready
Okay.
for this at all.
Okay. Well, what are you going to play for us?
I'm going to play you. I wrote this song for my son, and he's 10 years old. And I was talking to my brother, Bob, and we were just talking about kids. And we're talking about that window of time that's just like, magical. It's, when they're little. So it was just kind of fun, random conversation we had. And then he said, "They're never little long enough." And I said, "Okay, thank you." So I wrote that down and took it to Charlie, Steffel, and Tommy Carlos. We seemed to be the trio, and we wrote this song. So
Awesome.
So this song's for my son Eli out there. It's called "Never Little Long Enough." Making forts out of pillows on the living room floor, bed sheets and an old box fan. For a minute he's a pirate, and the couch is the sea. He's sailing to a far off land, never little long enough. Never little like that again. You wish you could freeze time, but it flies by just like the wind. You're never gonna slow it down. Try to just soak it in. Before too long they're moving on and all grown up. Never little long enough. bedtime stories, and we kiss good nights, little arms wrapped around my neck. It's the simple moments with him every day. I know I won't get back. They're never little long enough, never little like that again. You wish you could freeze time, but it flies by just like a wind. Never gonna slow it down. Try to just soak it in. Before too long, they're moving on and all grown up, never little long enough. We all get caught up in life. That's why it's good to realize they're never little long enough, never little like that again. Wish you could freeze time, but it flies by just like the wind. Never gonna slow it down. You try to just soak it in. Before too long, they're moving on and all grown up, never little long enough. Never little long enough.
Wow, that is awesome. I love that song.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a hit.
All right.
I think that's a hit.
Yeah, that was that song means a lot to me. I hope I can record that song soon.
Yeah, for
Hopefully it's
sure.
record.
Do you want, so you're going to record it yourself? Are you going to try and find someone to record it, or are you going to record it? How's that work?
I always record my songs. When I record my songs for myself, for my projects, I always send them to Nashville to see if anybody else wants to. I think it's a good thing to just spread them out there.
That's a crier. That is a definite crier song. Yeah, like it's a good thing that
that's the goal, make people cry.
Yeah, that's a really sweet song. So it was you, Tommy, and Charlie?
And Charlie. Charlie. Yeah.
Charlie, and Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I love it.
Yeah. Thank you.
So what else you want to talk about, Charlie Brown?
I don't know. Talked about the crowdfunder, where what came up, the gold record, the song, the album. I don't know. Do you want to talk about you?
No.
Oh, okay.
What would we talk about?
I think I'm good. I appreciate you having me on.
I love how direct you are. Bethalto.
Yeah.
Yep.
So no, I appreciate you having me on here. This has been fun, and yeah, it's cool. I'm excited about everything that's going on. It's good to share that. So
yeah, and I hope that if you can give to the crowdfunding account. Is it account?
Yeah, we'll call it an account.
How do they do that? Where do they go?
Well, they go to it's plastered all over my Facebook page, Charlie Brown. It's called Kickstarter, and there's actually 3 days left. It's kind of an all or nothing thing. So if we reach the goal of $5,500, then I go ahead with this project. And if it doesn't happen, then it's an all or nothing deal. So if you pledged or donated, the money goes back onto your card. So if we don't reach the goal, it's all or nothing kind of thing. So, but if it doesn't happen, then I'm still going to do my record. It'll just take me 2 or 3 years to kind of get it done. Versus in the fall, I would probably get it done in the fall if this happens, and that's why we're doing the crowdfunding, because I'm excited. I want to get it done.
Yeah. So if you give, though, you're doing all these things, like you get this hat, or you get T-shirt, or you get the songwriting thing.
Yes.
So how are you? How does that work then? Do you not do that until you see if you raise enough money?
It would not happen. Like it's all or nothing kind of thing.
Okay.
So
we got to get $5,500 for you, because I got to do the songwriting thing.
Well, if if we're, well, actually, I think we're like at 54 or 55%
Okay.
Of the goal. So we're,
We'll get
there's
there.
3 days left. It's getting down to the wire, but it's not impossible, but it's getting close.
Why is there only 3 days left? Why is there a deadline?
It's just the way Kickstarter works. It's 30 days. It's a 30-day deal.
Okay.
And so I've been promoting and getting online and promoting as much as I can to try to see what I can do to get some backers or pledges, they call it.
Okay.
So, and then if it all doesn't happen and you still want to do a songwriting session, I'm sure we can work something out.
Yeah. So if it's like the 32 day and someone wants to, throw you $1,000, couple $1,000, then you'll take it, right? I'm going to take it for you.
If it's too late, then I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
I think you'll get it. So yeah, if you can help Charlie reach his goal, then I would just encourage you to do that because you're so talented and that's an awesome song. I love that song. So I would love to hear it recorded. Now I don't know if the song that Andy and you record together will make it to Nashville, but you never know.
You don't know.
Right.
That's the thing. Yep. And you know what? It's also, I know that it's like the economy is like insane right now. So a lot of people are holding back and I completely understand. So if you can't, you can't. If you can, that'd be awesome. And like I said, if we get through this and it happens, it's going to be an amazing thing. And it's still going to be amazing if we don't reach the goal, because it's just going to take me longer to get out. Because I've been doing it like this for a long time. Save up 4 or 5 months, do a song. Save up 4 or 5 months, usually 2 or 3 songs a year. So
okay.
And so it's all good. If it can happen, I just thought I would go for it and see what happens. And it's going to work out either way.
So when you save up all of this, then you go to Nashville and you produce it with you record it, right, in the studio.
Yes.
Okay, because I've been a part of that sort of thing. So that's what the $5,500 is for, is to go there, record the song, and then they will also bring like a band and everything with you, right? A couple guitar players and
you hire musicians, session musicians. So you're in there with 6 or 7 guys and get to hear your song come to life, and you get to sing it, and then you hire the background singers. Except for this record, it will be LA and not Nashville.
Oh, cool.
Because Aaron's producing it. And he's going to be, not only will he play guitar, he'll do the bass and he'll do the drums. He does all of that. He's going to be my background singer.
Awesome.
He is like a one-man phenomenon.
Yeah.
So he's going to be doing
So you guys are doing it together.
Yeah, he's producing it for me.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So yeah, if you're a fan of Charlie Brown and also Aaron Kellum, then this is a great way to just help support, your local peeps.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Do you want to sing one more song?
Sure.
Do you have another song? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you need to sing one more song.
I'll do one more song to kind of close this thing out.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's do. I want to record this song. I wrote this song with Erin Bates. She lives in Nashville. She's an incredible singer-songwriter. And it's called Unsettle Down.
Okay.
You and I aren't the kind to stay in one place too long. Your restless heart and my gypsy soul were made for being gone. Let's do something crazy, babe. Unsettle down with me. We can throw everything we need in the back of my Chevy truck. Tear out of this town, it's just collecting dust and rust. Hit that road, spread our wings, unsettle down with me. We don't know how many trips around the sun we'll get. I wouldn't want to see this world without you in it. Let's make some wild and free memories. Button, settle down with me. We can always come back home and grow the family tree. But we both know if we don't go, the small town roots run deep. The more we stay, it won't let us leave. Unsettle down with me. We don't know how many trips around the sun we'll get. I wouldn't want to see this world without you in it. Let's make some wild and free memories. Unsettle down with me. What do you think about that one?
I love it.
Cool.
I think
Thank
it's
you.
great. And I wanted to play the clapping of the hands, but I don't know if this is the wonk, wonk, wonk.
Oh, do it.
Or, okay,
Do
you
it.
want me to?
Yeah, let's see.
Oh, wait. It's not even working. What's up with that?
It's clapping.
It's not working.
It's not.
None of
Okay.
these things are working. What's up with that? Good thing I didn't play
I don't
it.
know.
Oh, maybe
Was it?
it's one of these buttons that are
Do
on.
it. Yes. Thank
Okay.
you guys. Thank you.
You know what? Because I thought it could go another way. It could go like this.
Well, now we know.
That's
I'm
why I didn't want to
recording
do
so
it.
I didn't get the womp womp.
Right. Charlie, thank you for being on the podcast
Thank
tonight. I had so much fun. You were literally probably one of the most fun podcasts I have. Like the last one was super fun, and you just make it so easy.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
you make it easy too. Good questions.
Thanks. Well, if you like what you hear, like me, subscribe on my YouTube page, See the Unseen Podcast. And thank you so much again. I hope that everybody will go and do what you can. You know, if you can only give $25, then you'll take $25.
I
You
will.
can do
I will
$1,000.
take it.
Like sign up and write songs with Charlie. So thank you.
Yeah.
It's been great. And again, subscribe on my podcast or wherever you listen to your podcast. Have a great night.
Thanks. Oh, there's a camera.